The wild boars are becoming more and more vicious with each passing day. They are not afraid to rip through fertile crops, poison supplies of pure water, and cause significant disruptions to the lives of the people who live in the area. An unrelenting conflict between hunters and these monster beasts has broken out in an effort to bring back the equilibrium that exists between humans and the natural world. Can this effort be enough to stop the damage caused by the increasing wild boar population? This operation began with a tense encounter between a marksman and a large wild boar. From a concealed position, the shooter spotted the silhouette of the animal approaching. Adopting a steady stance, the shooter waited for the right moment. As the wild boar came closer, a rapid series of shots was fired, bringing the animal down instantly. The first strike of the operation was swift, clean, and effective. Elsewhere on a hillside, another wild boar moved through dry brush. Locked within the crosshairs of the marksman's scope, the animal was neutralized before it had a chance to flee. This quick reaction added another successful outcome to the mission. The sound of trained hunting dogs echoed through the thick vegetation, signaling the next phase of the operation. As a herd of wild boars emerged from the underbrush, one of the shooters maintained composure and quickly took aim. The largest boar was brought down with a single shot, while the remaining animals fled into the forest. One decisive bullet had halted a potential surge of destruction. Meanwhile, in a mountainous area covered in snow, another team split up to track boars in harsh terrain. One tracker followed subtle traces left in the snow and discovered a boar hiding beneath thick brush. Without delay, a clean shot was fired. The boar collapsed instantly, unable to escape. Another potential threat was safely removed. Using binoculars, another shooter observed a boar heading toward shelter. Tracking its movements carefully, the marksman released a single, precise shot, causing the animal to fall onto the snow-covered ground. This eliminated another danger before it could reach farmland. Within the forest depths, another sighting led to quick action. Upon spotting a boar's silhouette, the shooter steadied their position and fired. The shot halted the animal's movement immediately, preventing further damage to the surrounding land and agricultural areas. As night fell, wild boars began to emerge from their hiding places. These animals, equipped with sharp tusks and powerful builds, often dig into soil, destroy crops, and inflict significant financial losses on farmers. Their presence also carries health risks, including the potential spread of diseases such as leptospirosis. To address this growing issue, hunting teams were positioned and ready. As the moon rose, one team had already taken position around the perimeter of a field known for wild boar activity. Through infrared binoculars, a shooter identified a boar grazing. A single shot was enough to prevent further damage. In another part of the field, a group of wild boars began to gather. A shooter quickly positioned themselves, choosing the right angle. Shots were fired in succession, and two of the largest animals were brought down. The rest of the herd escaped into the forest. Upon receiving the coordinates, other team members moved in quickly, aided by GPS. The herd was located once more and intercepted with a coordinated barrage of gunfire. Multiple targets were neutralized, and the field was secured for the night. Hunting at night is inherently challenging, and winter conditions add to the difficulty. Despite freezing temperatures and snow-covered terrain, one team advanced into the forest to continue tracking. After a prolonged wait, movement was detected. A sudden appearance of a boar herd led to immediate engagement. The lead animal was stopped quickly, but others retreated. Undeterred, the team continued the pursuit, following tracks left behind in the snow. After about 15 minutes, a lone boar was spotted running through the forest. A quick, well-aimed shot ended its advance. In another area, a shooter located a wild boar hiding under snow-covered branches. Selecting an optimal shooting position, the marksman released a clean shot, bringing the animal down without delay. Other hunters followed suit, locating and safely removing the remaining wild boars. With all paths blocked, the animals had no opportunity to continue damaging the land. The operation concluded successfully. From snow-covered hills to fields under the cover of darkness, each step of the mission contributed to restoring peace to the affected areas. As the journey continues across various regions impacted by wild boar activity, the next stop is Calcula Hill, a region in the Mediterranean known for widespread damage caused by wild boars. This location has seen losses amounting to millions of dollars due to the animals hiding in dense thickets. At the forefront of this operation is a skilled hunting team led by an experienced marksman renowned for precision. Even before sunrise, the team is already positioned, ready to begin another day of coordinated and law-abiding wildlife population control efforts. Hunting dogs navigated the dense forest floor, their noses pressed to the earth, tracing every possible scent. They moved in formation through narrow trails and thick brush, searching for signs of wild boar activity. From deep within the foliage, the silhouette of a boar emerged frantic, heavy, and attempting to flee. A marksman, already in position, waited until the animal came fully into view. With steady aim, a single shot was fired. The wild boar, struck cleanly, fell instantly to the ground. This decisive moment marked the successful protection of the Calchula region, an area threatened by the destructive force of wild boars, known for tearing through crops and forest ecosystems with their tusks and hooves. Elsewhere, a separate team maneuvered rugged vehicles through narrow, winding paths deep into the forest. Upon arrival, the group dispersed methodically, each member scanning the terrain for movement. In one area, a sudden gunshot echoed the sign of engagement. A dark figure dashed across the hunter's line of sight. Remaining calm, the shooter followed its path and fired a series of precise shots. The wild boar collapsed onto the damp forest floor. It was a swift, controlled action, one that demanded composure in a high-stakes moment. Operations continued across various terrains, extending from the Vascompine forest into the rocky hills of Calabria in southern Italy. The mountainous landscape offered ideal cover for wild boars, allowing them to damage crops and evade detection. At dawn, a well-trained team arrived on site. They spread out silently, using the natural landscape as camouflage. On the opposite ridge, a lone boar was spotted foraging. Unaware of the danger, it walked straight into a carefully set crosshairs. A single shot ended its advance without struggle. Armed with specialized gear and clear intentions, another unit ventured deeper into a densely wooded section of the forest. They chose not to operate from open vantage points, but instead entered tangled thickets where visibility was limited. Minutes later, a large boar emerged. A clean, quiet shot was fired, and the animal dropped immediately, no time to resist or retreat. Meanwhile, another team accompanied by experienced hunting dogs followed fresh tracks through underbrush. After nearly half an hour, the dogs erupted into loud, urgent barking. They had found a target near the edge of the forest. A massive wild boar, estimated at nearly 400 pounds, attempted to break through the encirclement. It charged through the trees in a desperate escape attempt. However, it was too late. A creature of that size, if left unchecked, could cause extensive damage to farmland or threaten entire hunting teams. Such incidents underscore the growing concern surrounding wild boar populations, particularly in parts of California where their numbers are expanding rapidly. Wild boars are increasingly destructive. They ravage soil, destroy crops, and pose serious threats to both ecosystems and rural livelihoods. Moreover, their presence can spread diseases and create dangerous encounters with humans. At times like this, action is required to maintain balance. But the question remains: how will the next phase of the operation unfold, and what challenges await? Wild boars are formidable. Capable of running at speeds up to 40 miles per hour, they are not only fast but also resilient, intelligent, and highly alert. When cornered, they don't always flee, they can become aggressive and charge. For those tasked with population control, hesitation can be dangerous. During a coordinated search, a herd of wild boars suddenly burst from a thicket, charging across a trail. One of the team members responded immediately, taking aim and firing. One of the boars fell instantly, while the others scattered. In another section of the forest, movement was detected near the brush. A hunter raised a rifle and took careful aim. At the same time, the barking of dogs intensified. A dark figure moved through the bushes. The shooter remained still, waiting for the right moment. As the animal charged forward, the first shot missed. The boar moved closer. The second shot found its mark. The animal collapsed just meters away, a narrow escape from potential injury. Remaining calm under pressure proved critical in that moment. Further along the route, a large wild boar was spotted weaving between trees, trying to flee. A well-placed shot brought the animal down. Elsewhere, another team member had taken up position at a trail exit. Rifle in hand, he remained still. When a wild boar charged into view, it quickly changed direction upon spotting the hunter. But it was too late. One final shot ended the chase. As night fell and visibility decreased, the barking of hunting dogs echoed across the field. A wild boar suddenly burst from tall grass, heading straight toward the hunters. These scenes underscore the high intensity and unpredictable nature of wild boar control operations. While the goal remains to restore ecological balance and protect agricultural livelihoods, the risks involved demand skill, focus, and deep respect for the complexity of the task at hand.